name is Paul Smith. I'm Executive Director of Liverpool Biennial. My role is to look after, if you will, the business side of things. We have an artistic director, a team of curators, staff to deliver the artistic parts of that. We do everything that supports that. The Biennial is not just showing art. It's not just the art that happens here, it's the experience of the art. So largely I'm in charge of the teams that are about telling people about the Biennial, giving an idea of what they might see, raising resources to do that, and also what it's like to be and to experience that. That all comes down for us at Liverpool Biennial to making it a place. And so place making is a big part of what we do. So all of that has to have an impact on people and places. It grew out of things that existed in Liverpool already. And I think that's still expressed in the kind of work we do. Our guiding statement, if you will, is about engaging our people in place. Liverpool Biennial's attitude to how we engage in community comes from that history that we set ourselves of engaging our people in place. That's about how we take advantage of what is unique about art, what art brings to people, to places, to communities, to their own growth. Art does something interesting. Art does something very interesting. It allows them to sort of express things, or to feel things, or to know things. And it's our belief that what art brings creates a sense of growth, whether that's in a wider community, whether it's in a small group of people, or even individuals. We definitely believe that the fact that art is about communication, it's about expressing ideas, helps people to grow and to change. Liverpool Biennial has always been a part of Liverpool, but we understand our community to be people around the world, whether that's impacting on somebody who comes from Toxteth, a mile and a half from here, or whether that's impacting on somebody who comes from India or South America. We understand that you can communicate an idea through art, which feeds on, you carry the seeds of ideas. So Liverpool Biennial has always had an element to the using spaces that are disused or used for different purposes, in part because our ethos is that if you produce really high quality art, people will react to it. And we understand, I think, that if there are barriers to the people reacting and enjoying and feeling really good art, those barriers are often around their own personal feelings about the place where the art is. There are plenty of people who simply don't feel comfortable going into a gallery, so that's important. But it's had an element of putting work completely in the public realm, on the streets, but also in buildings that perhaps aren't currently being used. Well, there's plenty of space that's empty. And it's a tragedy to see that space empty and used and so on. So the issue about space and why Liverpool works in space is largely about the art, first and foremost. Artists come and they see spaces in which they want to make work, in which they can react to. But for us, there's an underlying imperative. It's about saying that putting work in public spaces or unknown spaces acts as a very good complement to putting work in gallery spaces. In this biennial, we've had a couple of interesting new collaborations, again putting complements on things that transaction between public spaces and galleries and so on. No Longer Empty came to us with ideas about how they might reach different parts of communities and build different kinds of bridges that the exhibitions are to build. It's fascinating to me that if you look at the local population and the number of people that visit Liverpool Biennial, you'll see that a huge number of local people visit. Yes, we have our international visitors. Yes, we have our visitors from around the UK. But actually the people that live here in Merseyside like the Biennial exhibitions. They enjoy what we've brought to them. The proposition of No Longer Empty was to build deeper and more bridges to communities, and the people of those communities here, no longer empty. It was about looking for new spaces in which there might be nothing happening, and looking at new bridges and new ways of building contact. Whether that's about putting great art in a space that you haven't seen very much, or it's something like Never Records, which is about personal day-to-day transaction, but in fact a sheaf of personal day-to-day transactions, where it's people talking and exchanging, sometimes exchanging music, sometimes exchanging coffee, sometimes just exchanging a bit of conversation and sort of as well. That's what Melodies were about.
Well, the time of
this year's biennial has been touched, and it's been touched because we wanted to make sure that the art that we built this time interacts with our audiences, visitors that come to see it. Touch is, it has lots of aspects to it, and that's very much a part of how the biennials work. We've asked our curators to pick up on different aspects of the themes, because that's a real strength of the biennial. You can see many different reactions to the same theme in a very close space. The centre of Liverpool, virtually all of our campus is huge. You can get it from place to place. So Touched has been about those different facets of how we as humans are touched by our experiences. That may well be being touched by the hand, maybe being touched in the heart, maybe touched in the head, which is very much of Liverpool and British colloquialism about maybe not being all together or having unusual ideas. So Touched as a theme has been about making very personal connections between artwork and people. Is Touch a successful theme? Well, if people are reporting to me that they have been in some way impacted, touched by the exhibitions, yes, I think it's absolutely successful because of the reaction of our audiences. And I think I've had more conversations in this panel than the previous panel about individual pieces and how they've made audiences feel. I've had certainly more conversations about the experience of visiting exhibitions than I've had before. And I think that's a reflection on what people are experiencing when they're in the exhibitions, but also what they're taking with collaborations for the biennials. They continue to grow, they continue to be more exciting. Liverpool Biennial has always worked in partnership. That's where it comes from, that's what we will always do. We will always value commissioning, we will always have international, the intersection of international artists with local people, international ideas with local ideas, that will always be the key part of it. But underneath all of that is how we do it. We only get anything done by working in partnership. And I expect those partnerships will continue to be more important. Economically, our world is changing around us. So I think the idea of what we can share, what we can do together, is going to be increasingly important as we want to present art, as we want to create growth in people and communities. My perceptions about the current economic state are we're facing very, very difficult times. It's interesting that I believe in the arts. I believe that the arts have always adjusted and made interesting things happen. They've always been creative and always been inventive by definition. So are the arts about to wither away and die? I don't believe that for a moment. I think artists are too passionate and too excited around that. What will very much change though is how art is presented and how accessible it is to people. I don't mean accessible in terms of the nature of the works. I mean it should be challenging, not to be challenged as part of art. I think accessible is about what kind of buildings we can use, what spaces we can use, what scale we can look at, how much we can tell people about art. And I think all of those things are in real threat. So the services we can offer, the economic conditions will impact on those services greatly. I very much believe that art has impact on people and rural communities in very positive ways. A good bit of research we've seen tells us that, but also just emotionally and intellectually, you can see that art creates and serves a sense of ambition. And it would be a real shame to me to think that because of outside economic numbers, that some of that ambition is lost.